Do you know what CarePortal is? An event held by the organization today aimed to spread awareness of who they are and their mission. CarePortal is a nonprofit that aims to help kids and families in crisis by connecting them with people willing to help. They say their mission is to engage, equip, and empower communities to care for those in crisis. They're a nationwide organization, but they say Wichita is one of their most successful cities.
Wichita really by far is leading the way in the number of kids being served per month by people here in the community. The more people that are using this platform, ultimately the more kids and families that are served and cared for.
Williams says CarePortal has provided help to more than 4,000 kids in the Wichita area.